What's good, my Zesty Lemons? It is Eileen, and thank you so much for stopping by Zesty Tarot. We have another request, and this is for the member of Astro, Yoon Sanha, I believe is how you pronounce it. If I said it wrong, please correct me. Alright. How are y'all doing out there? I hope that you're doing well, but most importantly, I hope you know and understand just how loved you are. Goodness, I'm just dropping sage bits everywhere. Go ahead and sage myself. Kind of burned myself. Kind of needed it. Alright. So yes, I hope I pronounced his name right. And she is wanting to do a wellness check on him to see how he is doing. Oops, hold on. I have a piece of sage that is on my rug. Can't be having that tearing stuff up or burning stuff up. Alright. Give me a second, sorry. Thought I had it all together before my sage started to fall apart on me. So if this is your first time watching me, welcome to my channel. As you know, I am an intuitive reader. And so I'm known for my K-pop readings. Actually, I would like to just do readings about really anybody, any celebrity. But I also do personal readings as well. So if you are interested in a personal reading, you are more than welcome to reach out to me. I should have my email address in my bio, but if I don't, I'll check it later. Sweet universe, thank you so much for this opportunity to read for this human being. I pray that my readings are concise and accurate, and not only will it express healing attributes, but also, as you could say, resonating energies that can also help the viewers involved as well, to help them on their personal journeys. Please protect me and everyone that is watching my readings. As I know that you do, you always come through, because I believe that love is the greatest cure of all. And no weapons formed against us shall prosper. So, what messages do you have about Yoon Sanha? How is he feeling? How is he doing emotionally, mentally, spiritually, socially? What's going on with him? Especially after the passing of, I think his name was Moonbin. Is that his name? Please correct me if I'm wrong. But I do know who you're talking about. I just may not remember his name. So please, I don't mean any disrespect. But, okay. How is he doing? Okay. I'm not really getting energy at all. Okay, I think this is the closest. Right here. Okay. So the message is, this could also pertain to you as well. So it says to check in with your body and release any tension you are carrying. Okay. So on a physical note, now I'm not a physician. I can just tell you what my intuition is saying, okay? For him, I want to say that there is a possibility of overexertion of oneself. And I think that has a lot to do with just making sure that he appeases those that claim to support him, and then those who do support him. And then, not to mention the management team. But I also feel like he has to understand there is a thing as rest. I also feel like this is a distraction for him. Now, if this is pertaining to you or other viewers, you may be taking on more than what you can handle. And I highly suggest you set aside your quote-unquote responsibilities and set boundaries for yourself, okay? That includes turning off your phone. If you're handling your own personal lives, you cannot take on somebody else's while taking on your own, okay? You're not in the right mental space. I do feel anxiety all over this. Some of you could be nervous because you are getting ready to transition to a new school year. And you're not for certain how that's going to turn out. So I feel the best way to handle these situations, first and foremost, if you have a therapist, please talk to your therapist. Or if you have someone that you deem as supportive, talk to them about it. Okay? Tell them about your fears. Don't forget to pray. You know, pray to God, the universe. That's what I refer to when I say God. Some people get up in arms with that, but this is my personal journey with God. Just like you can call him whatever. You know what I mean? So, God is there when you need him or her, however you want to perceive it. Some of you may need to just chill, take naps, and increase your intake of naps. Drink a lot of water. Back away from soda, candy, however you're, using these extremities to self-soothe, take it away, because some of you might be experiencing tension headaches, and I think that has a lot to do with your sugar intake. High blood pressure is a possibility, so if you do have blood pressure issues, you need to pay attention to that, okay, because that can cause headaches, all that good, not good jazz, but bad jazz, all right? But ultimately, I just feel that the importance here is paying attention to what your body is trying to tell you, okay? So if you are feeling anxious the moment that someone tries to talk to you about it and your body is reacting to it, it is time for you to speak up and say, hey, today's not a good day. Or if you want to still be polite, be like, hey, I only got 5 minutes, because I just, I got a lot I got a lot on my plate too. So they have to understand that. But I feel like Yoon has to do the same thing as well. But I feel like his is just trying to overexert himself. I'm going to put it like this. I feel the passing, and I think his name is Moon. I think after that happened, that took a toll on him and anyone else that is in that group. And it left a scar. And I kind of feel like all of them felt pressured, but they tried to resist the negativities. And so I feel like they're overcompensating for him. They're doing the best they can to maintain in his honor. I don't think that he would want that. And he could be on the other side telling them, like, please listen to your body. Like, don't overexert yourself. You know, just, I may not have been able to handle it, but I can't say the same for you. Okay, we don't know what he was going through. But I feel like what he's spiritually saying is, how can I put it? I don't want you to feel responsible for me. The next one is give yourself some credit for doing a great job. I'm sorry, doing a good job in this whole living thing. See? So yeah, I feel like he's overcompensating. He's trying to numb himself. This just traumatized him and the other man. Excuse me, I'm so sorry. Why? I don't know why. I don't know why I keep having these stuttering issues. Now, granted, yes, I am a stroke survivor, and sometimes, you know, that could be a residual effect, but there's no retrograde going on, unless there is one and I'm not aware, but oh my gosh, it's driving me nuts. Sorry. So, the challenge is him being able to give himself credit, you know, and I was going to say, I feel like he's placed in a people-pleasing, you know, mindset. And being a people-pleaser is very hard because you take things the hardest. And also, if you're surrounded, I don't know how his management team is, but if he's dealing with some closed-minded, narcissistic energies, they're never going to be satisfied, no matter how hard he works. So I think it's very important for him to give himself grace and give himself the credit for trying. Even if he doesn't hit that note correctly, or if he misses a step, give yourself grace. He might physically, not physically, but mentally have a hard time of releasing his brother. I feel like they were two peas in a pod. You wouldn't see one without the other. And so it's hard for him to navigate the way that he would have before, because it just doesn't feel the same. And even if he tries to do something that he would expect his partner to do right alongside him, it just doesn't, like I said, it doesn't hit. But he has to give himself credit. And apply this message for yourselves too. Give yourself credit for trying, whatever that might be. You may not be able to please the whole world, but damn it, you can please yourself. I'm proud of you for doing and trying whatever it is, and you need to continue to keep going. So we have be authentic. Everything else is just exhausting. So only you guys can answer this for me. Does it seem as though he lost himself? Does he seem like a completely different person? Because if that's the case, and that would make sense as to why you asked, he's holding back a lot. He can't navigate the way that he once did. A piece of him is gone. So he's walking around like this shell. And it's very evident. Yes, he's very sad. He's heartbroken. He really is. So it says, Make time to play, have fun, and be free. I'm assuming that he was a very playful individual. And I'm also getting a sense, one of the other, either Moon, and I'm just going to say it like that because, like I said, I can't remember. Either Moon was the one that brought the kid out in him, or vice versa. But I get a sense that he was very playful at one point. You know, I also get like a kind of a sassy type. Like those two were like a menace, like they were menaces, but in a very delightful, entertaining way. Let's see what else did I get. He shouldn't. I also want to. I feel like he feels like he should be guilty for being alive. And I feel that his best friend would look at him and be like, "Are you kidding? That is far from the truth. That is far from the truth." Yeah, he has to understand that it is okay for him to play. It's okay for him to be happy. That doesn't mean that he's being selfish. I think that his friend would encourage that. I want to pull one more. Well, here it is. You have such a bright light inside. Stop dimming it. There it goes. See? Like perhaps he should look at it as though, even though he cannot physically see his friend, his energy will always live on through him. I believe that that could be possible. He's going to continue to guide him. He has a great support system in God and in his friend. And of course, the prayers that you all show support in. Alright, so let's see what other bits of information that we can get. I know you asked me something else, but what did I do with my phone? It's my phone here. Here it is. Hold on, let me check your question real quick. Okay. Okay, so how will his year be, and if he will return to music? Okay. Alright, yeah, let's see what's going on. So, universe, can you help me to answer these questions with concise answers? Factual answers. Will he return back to music? Now, I don't know how many individuals are in this group. I don't know if it was just those two or if there's more than that. Please let me know. His heart. That just breaks my heart for him. And for all of you as well. I remember seeing it on the timeline, and that it just broke my heart. And from what I saw, he was loved by many. Alright, hold on, this is in reverse. Let me make sure that they're all that. Okay. Okay, so we have the Empress card when it says to check in with the body and release any tension that you're carrying. Okay, so this is definitely saying at this time, I want to say yes, he will return to music, but I feel like there's still some nurturing that needs to be done. You know, creativity cannot be rushed. And one of my favorite YouTubers, Corey X Kenshin, said that during a Spooky Scary Sunday episode. I made mention of that on his videos, as a matter of fact. But yes, creativity cannot be rushed. If you rush it, then it's not going to be the way that it is. So I assume, with that being said, that yes, he's either he is, you know, still kind of going through the motions of mourning, or he's working hard to come back with some new material. It would only make sense to. I don't think that he would just give up like that. You know what I mean? I think he has a lot to say, and there might be some songs that he is in the process of creating that is going to show that. So I feel that he's very pregnant with potential right now. He's just taking time to care for himself and to come back the way that he needs to. You know, just think of a pregnant woman. She can't just, unless it's one of those scenarios where she just ends up having a baby just out of the blue. Instead of having it at, you know, the hospital, she has to have it on the way there in the car, something like that. But I don't think that he's the type of person to just walk around in the wilderness and then just drop this precious gem, you know. So yes, he's taking care of himself, and he's also taking care of his creation. So we have the Page of Pentacles here, and give yourself some credit for doing a great job in this whole living thing. So since you said that, you know, going back to music, that's why I asked if he was a part of a group, and then did he just, you know, walk away because the grieving was too much, or perhaps he decided to break away from the contract so that he could focus on himself, because I do kind of get beginner vibes here. So if he is preparing for a comeback per se, he's taking his time. He's very excited, but he has to take his time to make sure that he's not getting himself in any type of contractual entrapments. Unlike the Page, because not the Page, but Knight more or less is kind of scouring over the fields and trying to determine whether he can place his seed in this soil, and will the soil be strong enough to hold the seed. And this requires patience as well. So I feel like he's in the beginning stages, and he's just trying to start out. It's almost like a child opening up their lemonade stand for the first time. They're very excited to have that glass of lemonade out there waiting, and you just have to wait for the right person to come along to be exhausted, you know. So I do feel like this is going to be a new experience for him, whether it's a comeback or however he wants to go about it. So we have, that's interesting because we have the Six of Pentacles here. And as you can see, if I can get this in the frame the correct way, you know, this is someone who's smiling and there are hands out receiving all of her blessings. So I feel like this is definitely pertaining to you as his supporters. And also, I want to say the management. Someone really wants him. Obviously, the fans want him to return, or however this is looking. I'm not for certain because this is all to me. This is general because I'm not for certain. I don't know much about him. But I feel like there is a need for equal give and take, and not just on a professional level, also from a self-love level. You know the saying, whether you believe that you can or you cannot, you're right. So it's all about perception. If you don't think that you're good enough, you're going to perform like you're not good enough. You know, and I think that's why it was saying to be authentic, remain true to who you are. You know, don't try to mimic anybody else. Don't try to carry on this facade because it does not suit you. And I think that if it also pertains to his attitude, he has to see that he is loved, that he is special. And that's all. Everyone just wants to give him that support. So going back to the Empress, that would make sense. He has to be able to take care of himself in order for this baby to be born. You can't consume alcohol or things as a stress reliever and expect for your baby to be healthy. You see what I'm saying? So I feel like whatever he decides to give to the public, they're going to tell if it's genuine. This isn't just business. This is a love relationship, platonic love relationship between him and his supporters. And then you have such a bright side. Stop dimming it. We have the Tower. So like I said before, I feel that the passing of his brother, I'm not going to say friend, his brother, really turned his world upside down. And then make time for play. Yeah, he should never close himself off. He has friends out here that love him dearly. I don't know, it just kind of feels like he just shut down and no one in the world existed. And a lot of individuals are concerned about him. So, the next question, what did you ask again? Sorry. How will his year be? Honestly, that's a good question. Let's see if I can determine that. So, universe, can you tell me how his year will be? Oop, I see a card. Probably shouldn't have been in there. Darn it. Oh well. Well, we'll keep that. Judgment. Okay, so since that was stuck in there and I wasn't expecting that, I can say that he's going to receive an epiphany once he realizes that he's being overcritical of himself. He's going to get an awakening of some sort where he's going, and I pray that does happen, that God gets a hold of him and be like, hey, we need you out here. I'm going to need you to tighten it up, I'm not saying it in a way of saying, oh, well, it's time to stop mourning. No, you can never tell somebody how long or how they should mourn. But when it comes to just remaining there, that's when it's like, hey, I understand that you're going through these things, but you still have things to accomplish here. I'm going to need you to get back out there and do your best. I'm worried about you. You're not talking to nobody. No one has heard from you. You look skinny, or you've put on weight. However that is, we need you to get back out there. So I definitely say with that Judgment card, it's like, aha, yeah, I'm doing too much. Okay, sweet universe, tell me about his year. What can we expect from him? Okay. Alright, so we have the Tower card here again, so this is doubling down. But from the beginning of this, I want to say that this is him picking up the pieces from that tragic, unexpected event that has happened. I hate to even call it an event, but you know what I mean? Like, it was very tragic, and it was unexpected. It was destructive. But I feel like he is now picking up the pieces and trying to rebuild himself, because with the Tower does come destruction, but you will be able to rebuild again, just more on a sturdier foundation. I will say that life has a way of teaching you valuable lessons that you didn't think that you would be capable of learning. And it is very unfortunate and unfair to have to learn those lessons such as like a friend or a family member passing away, or an animal, or your job, or anything like that. Something traumatic has to happen. And traumatic can be in any sense of the word. It destroys your belief system, because you thought everything's gonna be okay. I don't have to worry about nothing, and then boom, everything has been taken from you, and now you have to start all over. It's terrible. Life is fair because it ain't fair to nobody. So we have the Ace of Pentacles, so that's good to see, even with, because we have the Page of Pentacles here. So I feel that he's definitely going to announce that comeback, and the warm welcome that he's going to experience is going to be so beautiful. Look at this. Okay, so we have the Two of Cups. So this could pertain to a romantic partnership, or this could pertain to a business partnership, or this could pertain to a platonic relationship. But that's good to see, because I feel that it's a long time coming. Someone is going to step up to the plate and be like, you know what, we can't afford to have the same tragedies happen again. So we're going to be here to ensure that everything is taken care of. If you ever need me, I got you. So this could be a new management, or this could be one of the members coming up like, hey, you're stuck with me because I want to make sure that you're okay. And I love this because, you know, to me this represents balance. And if one loses balance, the other will be able to pull the weight. They're going to get over that, you know, that finish line. So, with the Hierophant, I feel that possibly a religious figure may come into the mix to kind of help him. You know, maybe he's going to read his Bible more, or maybe he's going to get into spirituality, however this may be. But I feel that someone of authority is going to assist him during these times. And I just feel like they're going to, you know, teach him and guide him. This could be a therapist, you know, so that's beautiful to see. And then at the bottom we have the Devil. So how I see this is that the chains will be broken. Any addictions to an overindulgence of depression, negative self-talk. I'm not for certain if he's a smoker or a drinker. I'm not for certain about that. But if that was what he was doing to help numb himself, he will be free of those strongholds. So I would say that I think that he's definitely going to make a comeback all the way around. You know, not just a new album or return to the group or however. I feel like it's all the way around. The situation, though it was very painful, is going to give him the fuel to return. Okay, so I'm going to close this out with, actually no, I'm going to use the other ones. Close this out with an oracle. Sweet universe, thank you so much for that reading. I enjoyed it. And I trust that once this message reaches the ears of the listeners, that they will nod their heads in confirmation like, yes, she's right. We're right. You and I, God. But my final question, what message, and this is just solely for his, you know, existence. What is the overall message? What is the takeaway from this reading? Oh, hold on. Okay, right there, it's stronger. work. That's what it says. And helper guides. So let's look at number 20. It says discipline, development, commitment. It says you are in the beginning stages of a huge growth period in your career or in your business. What you have been doing until now has brought you to this point where promotion or expansion is possible. Have faith in what's to come. You are on the correct path to build a sound and solid future. Continue to work steadily and focus on determination, discipline, and commitment to your intended goal. You can be confident in a successful outcome. You may not be able to see immediate results from your efforts, which states that in the Page of Pentacles, They're very excited to get that lemonade off, but maybe you just pass, you see a lot of people, they pass you up in cars, but there's no one walking on the sidewalks to, that looks thirsty enough, So you're going to have moments like that where it's just going to be a literal dry spell, but then there's going to be moments where you're going to have individuals coming up thirsty from that jog, and you have to go and replenish time and time again. So, yes. So it says, okay. But know in your heart that the work you do now will bear much fruit later. Much like planting a garden, you are planting and cultivating the seeds of success. Careful attention to detail is important right now. The more thorough and dedicated you are in all you do, the more you will guarantee your future harvest. So the message says to carry on with confidence. You are on a solid path. That's good to see, because the very beginning, unfortunately, his belief system was rocky, and this could also pertain to the management perspective as well. I'm not for certain if that's the case, but if his management wasn't doing right by him or the group, then they're trying to find new management that will take them on. But it says you are on a solid path to lasting financial security. A successful and lasting outcome is guaranteed. So to answer the question, I will say that I'm going to say between 2000 and, what we are right now, 2024 to 2026. I want to say you might hear something in basically the beginning of the year. You might hear of something, or maybe late this year you might hear of a comeback of some sort. I don't know, I could be wrong, but yeah. So if you enjoyed this reading, I would love to receive a thumbs up. If you would like to drop comments to kind of educate me on this, because I have no idea. I would love to hear your comments. Please feel free to subscribe and tell your friends about me. But most importantly, remember this: when life gives you lemons, always keep it zesty. Take care, everyone. Bye.